What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. More Burnley FC career mode on FIFA 18. You're gonna have to excuse me. I mean, I'm recovering, but I'm sick. I'm getting better, but I still feel like that little nasally part in my voice. But get straight to the episode. We're playing against Manchester United. This is the lineup we're going with. Zambrano starts at centre back. Lisandro Lopez starts up front. Obviously, we're still in the transfer window at this point. No of our new signings have started. Obviously, we signed, if you missed the last episode, I'm going to spoil it. We signed Scott Sinclair from Celtic, and he got injured in his first Premier League game. 20 minutes in, he got injured. So, I mean, back to starting Brady at left wing for now, at least, unless we can sign a few more players. I signed a few players in the last episode. I am still looking for maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 more players to join the team by the end of this transfer window. But we come forward. You just saw right there, Rashford, we absolutely took him out inside the box. I don't know if we actually got the ball or not, but when I first done it, I thought for sure we'd given away a penalty. Referee thought otherwise. We came straight down the other side, and it's that man again, Gudmundsson, on the right hand side, on his right foot, putting it away. I mean, he ran away from, I think it's Darmian right there. He ran away from Darmian. Darmian was able to recover just a little bit and get back at him. But the finish from Gudmundsson is actually brilliant. He fouled the far corner. He put us in the lead. Manchester United came back at us again. Martial and Rashford, the guys who gave us trouble in the first game, where they beat us 4-1, mind you, at Old Trafford. Now in that game we took the lead as well, so we need to be careful that we don't fall behind. Manchester United creating all kinds of chances, but we have a chance to get a ball into the box. Joe Ward whips it in, and Defoe gets an outstanding header on that. When he headed that, I thought it couldn't be anyone but Lisandro Lopez. I thought that is a striker's header right there. Well, I mean, it's a striker or a defender's header. That's the type of header a defender will pull off, to be honest. But in terms of the way it's finished, I thought it was Lisandro Lopez, but Defoe out here showing he could do it all. He's beat Paul Pogba in the air for that ball. Pogba has to do better, man. You got to do better for the money that was spent on you, which looks like absolute peanuts now, may I add. I mean, for fucking Neymar going for 250, absolutely insane. Like, I can feel the nasal in my voice, the stuffed. It's so annoying, man. But we picked up a victory over Manchester United, and the change from the few weeks before the transfer window opened to now, I mean, since the transfer window opened, the week before the transfer window, obviously we played against Huddersfield, and since then we've been on a winning streak, and on top of that we've made another signing, Alejandro Pozuelo. Now this is a player who, I don't know, I mean, some of you might remember him, but he did used to play for Swansea back when they were better. Let's just say back when they were better. We signed him for 16.2 million. He's left. He went to Almeria. I mean, he didn't play too much for Swansea. I don't know if maybe they didn't get along with him in the training ground or something. But when he did play, the glimpses I saw of him, he looked like he could be a real player. Like I say, he went to Almeria in Spain. Then he went to Genk, I believe. We did sell Leicester. We sold Leicester. We sold Sam Vokes to Leicester City for 6.5 million. So, I mean, Sam Vokes, I feel like we could have got a tad more for him, but he wasn't happy at the club. He wasn't playing games. Leicester came in with an offer. We obviously just signed Lisandro Lopez. I was happy to let him go. On top of that, we signed Mason Holgate on loan from Everton. This one, there's not too much to say about it. I mean, it's a depth. It's a depth signing. Like, we need more depth in the squad, so I've brought in a youngster on loan who could do a job for us. I think he should be about a 70, 71 overall. Maybe I'm pushing it a little bit, but you get it. But now we're coming into the FA Cup, and we're playing against Brentford, and Pozuelo is going to make his debut. This is the Brentford lineup. Few recognizable faces. Josh McEachran's in there. Vibe up front. They got Rico Henry at left back. But other than that, I mean, no players too recognizable, I guess. And it's definitely a game, especially on the form we're on at the moment. It's a game we should be winning. And Pozuelo early on plays it into Lisandro Lopez, and just look at this guy. Look at this guy. Like, you're filthy. You are a filthy human being and someone needs to deal with this man. Like, you know how deep it is. Let me explain how deep it is. I didn't even press to do any of that. I didn't press to do any of this. I pressed to shoot. And my man took over and said, nah, let me show you something sick real quick. He said, let me show you something sick real quick. He done a Cruyff turn and backheeled it into the back of the net. Lisandro Lopez, I implore you to take a bow, son. Do it. This man he's had the best start to a career you could ask for. Moving to Burnley at 34 years old. I mean, no one expected this much for him. He's already paid back the money I've paid for him as far as I'm concerned. But in the game right now, Brentford did come forward, and Matthew Loughton giving away a penalty. I mean, he better watch himself. We've got Mason Holgate on loan. Let me just point out as well, Mason Holgate is a short-term loan. Obviously, we just did secure Al Abdullawi on a pre-contract. So we really don't need Mason Holgate next season. So I didn't do a one-year loan. It's just a short-term loan, so it should end maybe a month before the end of the season or so. Something like that. Just wanted to point that out for you guys as well. So we're not going to have 3 right-backs next season. Obviously, we've got Phil Barsley as well if we do need him towards the end of the season. But Vibe did equalise, and 45 minutes into the clock, we're coming forward again. But I did want to mention with Lisandro Lopez again, the way I kind of, this is how I do it, at least, the way I will decide whether a transfer is successful or not. The way I kind of measure a successful transfer is by the millions, especially, well, this is in terms of strikers at least, the forward players, strikers, wingers, just attacking players. I expect a goal for every million I spend for you. So, well, a goal or an assist, which I don't mind as Pozzo hits the crossbar right there. But, for example, if I pay 50 million for a striker, I want 50 goals from you. Whether it's 25 goals and 25 assists, that's what I want. Obviously, that's getting a bit far-fetched now with the amount of money that people are spending right now. Because 250 goals, 250 million for Neymar. We ain't getting 250 goals for Neymar. Which is why, in my eyes, it's ridiculous. Like, even then, I can't even remember, was it 90 million for Pogba? Ridiculous. He ain't getting even near that many goals created. Obviously, there's other stuff that players do that affects a game. But not for 90 million, bruh. Not for 90 million. Like, you could pay 100 million for Messi and he could get you 100 goals. Like, you know, like, so we paid 4.5 million for Lisandro Lopez. He's already got us way more than that already, so I feel like he's repaid me. But getting back into the game, you can see Agayi getting a chance right here. One of you told me to recall Agayi from loan. I really didn't see the point because, I mean, he's on loan. Just let him be on loan, you know. Just let him be on loan. It's not like we particularly needed him, so we left him on loan. We did finally equalize a little bit, fortunately, right here, because, again, I didn't control that goal. Like, I wasn't in control of Tarkowski. I crossed it in. I was in control of the first header from long, and the CPU just kind of made Tarkowski react to that and put it into the back of the net. So, I mean, I'll take it, though. We did equalize late on, but it was a draw. I mean, we dropped, well, I was going to say we dropped points, but it's an FA Cup game. We did draw to Brentford, which is a bit disappointing. We are going to have to do a replay at Turf Moor. Don't know when it's going to be, but it's not what we need at all. But, I mean, look at that goal from Lisandro Lopez. It's absolutely, it's filthy. It's filthy, man. The things the guy's doing. Alejandro Pozuelo, as you can see right here, getting the Man of the Match award, as he did get an assist for that goal from Lisandro Lopez. He put a good performance. I feel like he's a good signing. I mean, I'm happy with the signings that we've made so far. We paid 16.5 million. I mean, maybe before I would have looked at that and thought that's a bit too much money. But again, with the inflated prices and the way the transfer market's going, he is still relatively young. He's about 26, 27 years old. And he's about 78 overall, I think it was. I'm just, none of this. I mean, y'all just got a whole insight into what's going on with my goddamn backstage and shit, but which I usually don't show, but I guess I left it in for this episode. We're going back to training. Again, like I said, we don't have too many players who are worth training on this team. So Again comes back from loan. His loan ended, and getting a little bit of action and getting some training as well. Bournemouth making another brilliant signing. You saw they signed Campos in the last episode, and now they're signing Michel Weiser as well, and we make another signing as well, adding to the numbers. Patrick Bamford signs from Middlesbrough, 4.3 million, and this is a signing. This is a bit of a risk because Patrick Bamford, y'all know, y'all should know by now. I sign players who I like in real life. I don't look at it, this guy's a beast on FIFA, I'm gonna sign him on FIFA, because I need to enjoy my career mode for it to translate into a good series. So I don't sign players who I don't like. Like, I'd never sign Musa because I don't like him in real life. I don't rate him, so I wouldn't enjoy playing with him, even though he's probably a beast on FIFA, you know. So Patrick Bamford is a player I like in real life. I feel like if he'd had more chances earlier on in his career, I feel like he'd be a lot further along than he is right now. But he's not doing great right now. Even he was even on loan at Burnley last season, I believe. But didn't get any games, didn't get any game time. Ended out back at Middlesbrough, now in the Championship. Still not really even getting any games now. When he was in the Championship, I think with Nottingham Forest, he was doing brilliantly. And I thought, this guy, obviously he's not going to get any game time at Chelsea. He needs to go to a team where he's going to get some game time. Never really happened to him. So I'm kind of assuming he's not going to be rated too highly or have too high potential on FIFA. And obviously he's not that young anymore at 24 years old. So, again, it is a bit of a risky signing, but it's a player I feel like if we train especially, we could get him up to a decent overall for a rotation player. But into the game against Newcastle right here, Jose Perez giving them the lead. I mean, it was just a mess inside the box, to be honest. I mean, earlier on, a little bit of a mess inside the box. You can see our defending wasn't great at this point. Jose Perez was pretty much the only Newcastle player in the box who was a threat. But he done well. He done well to get the ball into the back of the net. First time shot. Former Leicester City player again. I mean, that career mode was just too lit. It was untouchable. It was just, I generally feel like that was one of the best career modes ever on YouTube. Like, but look at this. Oh my God. This guy, this man's, bro, 4.5 million, and look at what he's giving us. He's giving us a banging free kick. He's giving us a banging top corner volley. He's giving us that. He's giving us the back heel. He's giving us a winner against Liverpool. 4.5 million, lads. Even if this is his last season for us. I mean, we signed him on a one-year deal. Even if it is only 1 year we have him from. Even if we sign him to another contract and he starts to drop down in overall. Even if all that happens, look at what he's given us for 4.5 million. It's unbelievable. He's pulled us straight back into the game. Newcastle coming back down the other end though through Christian Atsu, another former Chelsea player who just didn't get a chance. And he's denied by Tom Heaton again, making another vital save. Robbie Brady. Every time his name comes up, I almost call him Tom Brady. But we create another chance here. Goodmanson again, putting it into the back of the net. For as much as Defoe does, and as much as Lisandro Lopez is doing for the team, don't sleep on Goodmanson. My boy Wolfie hit me up and he was like, boy, if you didn't have Goodmanson in your team, it would be a wrap. And I mean, again, for as much as Defoe is doing, I said to him, bruh, if we didn't have Defoe on my team, it would be a wrap. But I can't deny, I mean, look, you're going to see right here, Goodmanson, 7 goals in the Premier League. If we lost those 7 goals, and you got to look at how important some of those goals he scored were. I mean, he's won us points this season. He really has. He's been vital. And I always bring it up, but y'all wanted me to replace him at the beginning of the season. So, I mean, I'm quite happy with how he's performed. I mean, obviously moving forward, we are going to have to look to replace him as we score a brilliant goal as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Ben Mee, one of the taller players on the team, probably the tallest player on the team, aside of Tom Heaton. I don't know how tall Tom Heaton is, but I know Ben Mee is quite tall. But again, another brilliant delivery from Robbie Brady on the money, and that's a brilliant header from Ben Mee. No chance for the keeper, and that's what I'm talking about. That's a defender's header. That's how you expect a defender to go up and head it into the back of the net. Ben Mee, you're going to see us popping up right here. First goal of the season. Obviously, you guys remember he did score the very first goal of the series in the Premier League against Chelsea, but obviously you know what happened. It didn't save and all that shit, and his goal was erased. But Newcastle came back. It's Joselu putting the ball into the back of the net for them, pulling them back into the game. 62 minutes on the clock, and St. James Park is erupting because they feel like they could get something back out of this game. And it's Christian Atsu again down that right hand side making it happen. I think that's his second assist of the game. So he's kind of doing bits right now. Joselu, should Tom Heaton have done a little bit better? I don't know. That was a little bit close, so like close range finish. But Atsu again on the ball, 68 minutes, finds Joselu, who finds Jose Perez, who turns, footwork on point, and he tucks it away into the bottom corner of the net. 69 minutes gone in the game, and Newcastle have equalised in it. I mean, they took the lead, we pulled it back, scored 3 goals on the bounce to get a 2-goal advantage, and Newcastle pulled it back. So I mean, with the sliders, I mean, they're always a threat with the sliders. And I mean, we've been doing well, but defensively, we still need to make sure that we are solid right there. We did make a change, brought Pozuelu on the pitch, and we tried to get something out of what was remaining out of that match. Goodmanson again letting rip. And a save right there. Is it Selzing goal they got? I'm not too sure. But Robbie Brady stepping up to take the resulting corner. Defoe wins the header. And here's Games clearing off the line, denying us from getting a 4th goal, which would have obviously been the most goals ever scored in an episode for us so far in this series. But we did have to settle for a draw at St. James Park. Little bit, I mean, you got to be a bit unfortunate for that. Being 2 goals up in the coming up to the 70th minute to then leave with nothing. And Lopez, I mean, I didn't even mention at halftime he had to come off injured. Luckily it was only a bruised shoulder, 5 days, not too much. And another signing completed for us, Ben Woodburn signing from Liverpool. I did say when Sinclair went out injured that we might have to think about bringing in another winger. Ben Woodburn, I mean, I think that's a good signing. We signed him for undervalue, only 800,000. He should definitely be one for the future in this game. So it could be one for the future while still being able to play a few games while Sinclair is out, maybe in the starting lineup. Like I said, we're not gonna sign only high potential future stars. Like, that's boring. But we are gonna sign some. Like, don't think I'm just gonna sign older players and players you don't know. I am gonna try and sign some future stars, because obviously this is a long-term series. We are looking to grow. And everybody loves a future star. Don't think I don't love a young player with high potential. I do love it. I just don't love obvious overused signings. That's the only difference. But this episode is long as hell as it is already. So we're going to end it right here. A quick look at the Premier League table. We lie in 12th position still. Next episode will be deadline day. So make sure you tune in for that and see if we'll make any more signings. At this point, I mean, I wouldn't turn down a signing for the right deal, but I ain't gonna lie to you. At this point, we don't have too much money left. But, love you guys. Stay safe. Peace.